So can we have padding characters with any other kind of data from the database? Definitely. You just watch here when you are working. Are we not padding on actual database data? So actually you watch, all my names are on which side?
Left
Side to the column. Because of LPAD, they came to the right side. So if you are just working through the process, I am removing this. So it puts the padding to the spaces. So we can change the format and alignment of the data by using what? Padding functions. Are you catching the point now? So they are very important in some requirements. Exact implementation of these functions we'll see as the days are going on. See, functions with their introduction and closing, and wherever in whichever chapter I feel that I can give you one best example out of that function. Without your knowledge I'll come to that. But function I will not explain once again because it's already done. So be very clear about. Therefore, padding is not a big job. The same way you just want when you say arpad. Arpad does it in a reverse order, that's it. So from the right side, it will pick up the number of pads. Here also the construct is same. If you don't give the padding character, default is always what? Spaces. It will happen. So look into the structural state and start working. Now actually, you just watch one very simple question in your interview can ask you is something like this. Are we not getting simulation as if the characters are in the center of the column? Yes or no?
Yes.
So you just watch, I am removing this particular padding character, that's nothing but hyphen. And I am going for the sake of what now? Nesting of LPAD and RPAD. Is I am pushing my data from left side and right side in such a way that it is giving a simulation as if it is in the center of that particular column, middle. But actually we don't have any center alignment. So by using padding, we can make arrangements on the screen to be more specific to the requirement of the end users or not. How many times these functions are very effective, I don't know to speak. But remember, there is one concept called as data masking in real time. When you want to go for that masking constructs, we generally think of using some functions like padding and other things, whatever we learn. Therefore, every function has its own area of applicability. So, the inner function is padding with 10, giving the entire pad to the outer function that is LPAD, which is padding with what now? 15. So, both the sides the functions are operating to the requirement and they are doing their job. So every function, by its nesting, it has its own power of implementation. The next we have is trimming functions, okay? Ltrim and rtrim. These are two kinds of functions now. Trimming means fine tuning of unwanted data. Fine tuning means removing. We remove the data which is unwanted for us from the right side or left side. The name itself is from the right side or left side, not in between. So, when these functions are working, they have an ability, that particular ability you have to catch. See, actually, this is my data, what I want to remove. This data is only on which side? Left side. Means actually, this is the original data, what I want in my output actually. So, I am calling my ltrim, catch me very carefully through the process. I am giving my total data, whatever I have, and I am giving my particular character set. When you are giving this character set, you should always remember the behavior of the trimming functions. Now I want answers from you. X is in the set or it's not in the set?
The set.
Come on, it's in the set, so remove. Y is in the set or it's not in the set? It's in the set, so it's removed. Z is in the set or it's not in the set? It's not in the set. The function stops automatically. So, the behavior of the ltrim or rtrim functions is always try to understand the moment the data is not found in the set. The moment the data is not found in the set, it automatically stops. It will never trims in the middle, never trims in the middle, even though it's matching. Therefore, when you are expecting the trimming functions to work, you should always see that your trimming function is planned by representing proper character set. Therefore, now you want the Z also to be eliminated. Let us say you are adding that into the set. Where you add that doesn't matter. It should be in the same order, is not a rule. But Z is also removed now. X is available or not available?
Not
Capital X is not available because ASCII differences. Once again the function will stop. Therefore, whichever characters you are expecting to eliminate, everything should be in the set. As many number of times as it is found, it will be eliminated. Now you watch. So this behavior of this set you have to understand. If you don't understand the behavior of the set, you will do mistakes. Where default is the space. Means what? Say like I am having so many spaces on the left side. I am calling my LTrim with those spaces, removing this now. If you don't give anything for trimming, default is spaces trimming. So you can just watch here spaces are there, then automatically here spaces are eliminated. So trim functions will trim the set if provided, else they trim the spaces automatically, but whichever side it is that side they will work. Within the set, if you don't mention properly what you want to remove, then you'll have confusion. The same thing you watch here also. I'm having yx, x, xy, but I give only xy in small. So when I'm working with my criteria of my Oracledeveloper as a process, you can just check it is stopping when the capital X is found. So we are just trying to work out on the process, add up with that particular capital X as a criteria and start moving. So technologically, if you just check, the specifications will move on. So we need to be very, very clear to the perspective. Therefore, putting the set is your job, and you cannot just say like, so if I put the set, you have to calculate the set. Therefore, if you don't understand set constraint, this is a very simple question. Out of 10 students, definitely 8 will give wrong answer here. We ask the student, can you tell me the final output of this select statement? Then many times what the student does is, his mind will be somewhere saying that manager is what I am working. But technically, LTrim of man. So he removes this man. What is left over? Ager. Ager like GER. Absolutely false. That's how the student says, so no rows selected will come. He is doing only one mistake. He is taking the criteria of the LTrim as a pattern here. It's not a pattern, it's a character set. He forgets the particular composition. So try to understand the particular construct of the process. So what is happening here? M is there, yes or no? So from the set, M is eliminated. A is there, A is eliminated. N is there, N is eliminated. A is once again there, it's eliminated. So what is left? G. Don't take your trimming functions as patterns. Be very, very clear about that. Don't take them as patterns. Take them as only character sets. You forget the difference between pattern and a character set, you will just do some silly mistakes. In functions, you will never do any great mistakes. When very silly mistakes you do, and by the time you realize, you have lost that interview. There are many cases where students, when they call up and they'll say, sir, I was attending one interview, sir, it was so frustration. Only 2 questions he asked me and he said, you can go. Means you gave 2 questions with such a wonderful answers. Your interviewer thought that if he asks another 2 questions, he will die. But I am not ready to die for somebody, man. He gave me such wonderful answers, they are the biggest grenades in the world now. Will I try to expect a missile under me now? Don't look better, man, thank you, namaste, chale jao. So, if we have to conduct interview with you, first we should feel that you are looking from your side intelligent to answer us. Else why we will waste our time? And remember one thing, every candidate we interview in the interview panel, on that Saturday or Sunday, per candidate 1000 to 1500 rupees is given to the interviewer, depending on the experience. Okay, if it's a fresher, 500 rupees is given per candidate. What will be my calculation in my mind?
How many?
9 o'clock we start the interview, let us say. By evening 5 o'clock I have to close. By 5 o'clock, how many heads I will throw outside? Count is only number of heads, that's all. If I am spending my time with one person who is not looking too intellectual for me 1 hour, it's waste. In 1 hour, how many heads I can complete? If 10 heads I can complete in 1 hour, average 1000, let us say 1000 into 10, my bank balance is increasing, finish. Therefore, I should feel this candidate if I select, then I have advantage. But every selection we get money also. Remember that, okay, everything is business in this market. When I selected one candidate and I told the interview panel at the end of the day, so these 10 people are looking suitable. They will be called to the next round. So, by end of the day, 100 people I calculated, 90 I rejected, 90 into 1000, that's coming. This 10 I selected made them go to the next round. So for this 10 I selected also I will be getting that extra, no doubt about it. The beauty I will tell you, out of these 10, if suppose 5 are finally selected, if their salary was fixed at say like 40,000 per month, from that 18% will come once again to me. We are not losing money anyway. So, why I will waste my time with a person who is not looking intelligent for me? Instead of spending 1 hour with that guy, it's better spending 10 minutes with another person. I get another 500 or 1000 rupees. No interview is free of cost. Remember that, okay? It is free for you, but not for the person who is doing service there. So, we don't try to spend time until we don't feel that you are looking intellectual from your side. Therefore, small mistakes can always make your interview to close fast. Therefore, in advanced levels, it's not a problem. Why? Because in advanced levels, will give you time. In fundamental levels, no way. In fundamental levels, very quick you have to take up and you have to work out. So, people who are working with trimming functions, always remember this is not pattern, this is character sets. Individually, it's working. Be as quick as possible. Now starting from 8i, Oracle provides you one function called as trim. Okay, trim is not a great function, but it is designed for one specific purpose. I can always say trim is a semi-intelligent function. Semi-intelligent means what? Watch carefully here. Its job is also trimming only, but you just watch here. I said trim of yes. Did I say which side my S has to be trimmed? No. But my S is found only on which side?
Right side.
Right side. It comes from right side automatically. The same way, you just watch here, when you are trying to work with this, I am having SS on left side. Did I say anywhere left side? No. It comes from left side automatically. Then we are moving downward, say like SS on both sides. It cuts from both the sides. That's how it is always semi-intelligent for doing some job. But here I am having S on both the sides. I want only on left side. Then I can always say leading yes. So when I say leading yes, it cuts only on left side. I can always say in the place of leading, trailing yes. Okay, whenever I say trailing yes, it cuts from the right side. Now, you can even use a keyword called as both. It cuts from both the sides. This is what is generally the construct of trim. But there is one limitation of trim. You should always remember that. Now, you should always understand one thing. I want to cut yes, yes and M. How many types of characters I want to cut?
2 types.
Come on, 2 types of characters, yes or no? On which side?
Left
side. So I am saying yes and M. How many trimming characters I gave?
2.
2 trimming characters. The combination is matching on left side or not?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes, but it will not accept. Trim should contain only 1 character. So you want to cut with multiple combinations. Which functions we should use? L-trim and R-trim. It's a single pattern you want to cut, let us say. Single means same character you want to cut either on left side or right side. Then you can plan what?
Trim.
So trim is not a great function, but trim is ANSI based, which is always there in the process. Therefore Oracle added this from almost 8th version. Mostly in industrial standards, we use trim only when we feel that there is only one particular type of data to be trimmed. When we are having combination of data to be trimmed, we always go for the sake of what? Either L-trim or R-trim. In both the cases, they can always trim the spaces, be very clear about that. These are some major criterial factors. What I can say is the major fundamental logical composition of character functions we are closed. We have two more functions which are very specifically important for the sake of logical states. One is replace and translate. These two functions play a very important role in major amount of our works. Be very clear about that. And then almost all we can say character functions are closed. Then I'll start up with my numbers and I'll start with my dates. So tomorrow when I'm speaking with you, we'll sure close down with numbers as well as dates also, get ready for more complicated standards. Thank you once again tomorrow.